The following podcast is a Country Mompreneur production.
Welcome to She Can and She Will. I'm Marianne, also known as the Country Mompreneur, and I'm joined by my co-host, Disa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and we love helping women take control of their lives and see all the possibilities. On this show, you will learn from us as well as other women who kick butt in their lives and want to help you do the same. So sit back and get ready for some fun. Welcome back to She Can and She Will. I'm being joined today by Katie Cooper, a certified health coach and occupational therapist. Thank you for joining me today, Katie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So let's start with, can you tell me about your journey to what got you to where you are here today?
Yeah. So I've been working in the healthcare industry for about 15 years. And during different parts of my career, I felt, intense burnout, excuse me, just from, the stress of the job and life in general. And, we're, as healthcare professionals, we're really great at taking care of others, not always great at taking care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so during the pandemic is when I hit my most recent phase of burnout. And I just decided, I need to do something to prevent this from happening again. There's just too much. I'm a mom of two girls. I want them to see a healthy, independent woman as their mom. And so I became a health coach really just to invest in myself and, make sure that I was doing the things to take care of myself and be healthy and well. And during that process, I realized, wow, so many people need this. We can all benefit from somebody in our corner helping us achieve our own goals around health and wellness. And that's really what a health coach does. So that's where, now that's what I do, is I just help empower others to be their best selves.
So can we dig a little bit deeper? What is it that you actually focus on as a certified health coach and occupational therapist?
Yeah, so it's really client driven and individualized. So a lot of times people will come to me and say, I just don't feel good. Something is wrong, but my doctors say everything is fine, that I'm healthy, I'm normal, but I don't feel my best. And so we kind of dig into, habits or foods that we might need to change, things that we can do to manage the underlying stressors that are causing issues internally that maybe don't show up, externally as easily to our doctors or, our typical practitioners. And so I really work on helping my clients stay accountable to their goals and the changes that they want to make, support them on their journey. And it's really up to them what they want to work on. And I'm just that support system to help push them to achieve those goals that they set.
So I know when I get stressed out, I get very annoyed, whatever. What is it that your body actually goes through though when you're stressed?
Yeah. So when we're stressed, internally, there's this whole response that occurs. You've probably heard of fight or flight response. Mm-hmm. So our body goes into this mode where it allows us to protect ourselves from whatever threat that is. So, when humans were created, it was the lion that could eat us, right? A real true life threatening thing. And now it's the emails that you have to catch up on at work, or the phone calls you have, or the traffic you're sitting in. So we're inundated with stressors all the time. And those stressors cause this response that, we get all these hormone shifts in our body, so that we get glucose in our bloodstream that allows our muscles to react quickly. Resources towards digestion and reproduction get turned off or slowed down because we don't need to do that when we're fighting for our lives. At least that's what the brain is perceiving. And our heart rate goes up, our blood pressure goes up. And this is a good response in the short term because it allows us to react quickly and be on our toes and be able to get through whatever stressor we're faced with. But what happens is if that response isn't turned off, which happens so frequently when we are inundated with stressors in our day, our brain never knows when it's okay to rest. And so we never turn off that response, and we get these chronic conditions from it over time. so that it leads to the inflammation, maybe glucose sensitivity. So it leads to diabetes down the road, high blood pressure, weight gain, difficulty with digestion, reproduction. It's a lot. Stress is like one of the number one reasons for a lot of the illnesses and conditions that we get later on. So by understanding what happens internally, we can then learn how to turn off that stress response so our body can rest and heal.
I know for me, when I'm stressed, I can't sleep and my mind won't turn off. Like all night long, I'm thinking. So do you have some tips on how to like turn off the stress response? Like some.
Yeah. So the number one way to turn off the stress response is movement. So and typically I recommend movement that you enjoy. So if you hate going to the gym, that's not going to turn off your stress response.
Be more stressed.
Yeah, exactly. But, if you like to walk outside or you like to swim or you like to do yoga, whatever it is, it can even be just 5 minutes of that movement activity. I mean, obviously 20 to 30 minutes is what research shows is the most effective. But if it's an intentional 5 minutes at the end of your day, it will do the trick. Another great one that's even shorter is deep breathing. And there's lots of different ways you can do deep breathing. There's box breathing, 4-7-8 breathing, alternate nostril breathing if you've done some yoga. And you can do that for 30 to 60 seconds and turn off the stress response. So that can be really quick and effective too.
So how do you help people try to make this like a consistent part of their life?
Yeah, that's the tricky part, right? It's easy to do it one day, but to make it a habit and do it every day can be really hard. So there's some ways to do this is like having someone that's keeping you accountable can be really helpful, which could be a health coach. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could also be reminders on your phone that, pop up at certain times of the day when you're going to want to do these things or need to do them. Scheduling it in your calendar so it's in there and there's time blocked out for it is going to make it easier to get set into a routine. And honestly, just like putting the effort into like making that intentional change, once you do that consistently for a week or two, it becomes easier. And then you start to feel the change that happens in your body. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to do that now. It's not just I got to do this. It's like, oh, I feel so much better when I do this.
So if someone wants to work with you, do you work with people only in person or virtually? Do you do groups, one-on-one? How is it that you work? Yeah,
so I typically do everything virtually. It seems to be a little easier, and then it doesn't matter where we're located. And it's typically one-on-one, but I would love to have some groups. I'd like to have people who are like, that know each other, to start a group to get going. So that's another way that we could work together.
Awesome. And we'll put all your contact information in the show notes so people can reach out to you.
Yeah.
So we always end our podcast with one question. So what is one tip that you would give people to inspire them today to get motivated on whatever journey it is that they're on?
Oh, that's a good one. So I think the one tip is just do something, just start somewhere because you'll thank yourself later. I think it's easy to get stuck in I'll do it tomorrow. It's too overwhelming. There's so many other things I could be doing. But, when we think about some of the tips that are going to help us, 30 seconds of deep breathing, that's doable. That's manageable. So just start there. And once you do that one thing, you can start to build from there. It kind of breaks you out of that cycle internally of this is hard. It's hard to take the time and improve ourselves. But if you just start with one step, you can build from there and you get out of that funk.
Yes. I love it. Well, Katie Cooper, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening. She Can and She Will is a Country Mompreneur production. Audio mix by Marianne. Research by Disa McAllister. To learn more about this and other Country Mompreneur productions, visit thecountrymompreneur.com.